How I saw them was not as a
Okay.
triangle, but I saw them like the Star Wars, like on the Star Wars, where you have like
It's called a TIE fighter, Carrie.
that's
A
what
TIE
I did. I
fighter.
knew you would know what it was, but I was like, you
I'm a
know,
little I'm a little ashamed that you saw it and I didn't.
it's okay.
Okay, let's try something here real quick, Stefan and Carrie. Do you see the yellow thing? The yellow sticky note? Am I still
Yes.
sharing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna flash an image there. Okay. I want you quietly think about the prompt, the image, the question, whatever you see there. Okay, very quickly. And then when you're ready to share, give me a thumbs up and just put it right here on your chest so I know that you can see it, right? And then I'll see it, and then I'll ask you, I'll give you, or your head. That's a good one, Carrie. I like that. On your forehead. This is Zoom mode. And this is what we do with the kiddos, okay? Right out of the gate. We give them the structure to talk about how that quiet think time, the importance for me to think quietly, and the importance for me, not even more importantly, I have to yell out like, "Ooh, I know," right? Because once you do that, Stefan, I can sit back and go, "Yeah, he's got it." I can chill and I can think about my Minecraft again or get back on my phone, which is something we should talk about sometime too. But that's a whole nother thing. All right, ready? So real quick. So it's gonna go fast. Okay. And you've already may have done
I'm
this
gonna
one before.
screenshot it.
Okay, no screenshot. You
Just
ready?
kidding.
All right, I'll see if I can do this. This is my practice too. Ready? Okay. Think about it. How many dots did you see? Think about it. All right. All right. So Carrie, how many did you see, Carrie?
I think I saw seven.
Okay. Stefan, how many did you see?
I also saw seven.
Did you? All
I
right.
did.
That
I did.
person in the back, how many did you see? Oh, eight. Okay. Anyone else
I
share
saw
a thought?
five.
Five. Okay. All right. So now you're going to have to go through and you're going to say, you know what? There's two sevens up there. So I'm going to erase one of them because that was someone else's thinking. And you're going to say, I would like to defend number five. I saw five dots and I saw them this way, or I saw eight dots, or I saw seven dots. However, you may want to, whatever number you want to have, I want to defend that. Also, you can change your thinking and say, "Ooh, after I see the dot pattern a little bit more, and after I have taken more time to look at the problem, I'm going to change my thinking." And because is it okay if we change our thinking about stuff? I'm just make sure. Are we okay with that, right? And once I don't have to be married to eight, five, or seven, so it's good to change our thinking. So, all right, ready? So, who wants to go first? Who would like to defend one of those answers up there?
I would like to defend seven.
I want to go
Anyone?
first. Carrie, you want to
I would
defend
like to
seven?
have Stefan go
You want to go
first.
first? Okay,
All
now
right, then I'll defend. No, I'm going to defend
I got to find
seven.
my pen. Hang on. Where's my pen at? Stefan, what happened to my pen?
I
Toolbar on
have
the
a
left-hand
pen.
side, click on pen,
Oh,
or click on the whiteboard and hit P. There we go. That's way better. Thank you. Okay, Stefan, you want to let me get the thickness a little bit larger. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Which one you want to defend? What? Seven?
Uh,
Yeah.
sure. If I am, I feel like I bullied Carrie out of going first. I was just kidding.
No, it's fine.
Uh,
Okay. How did you see the seven dots?
I saw these
How did
three
you get to seven?
on the left, kind of made a triangle. Then I noticed there were these three on the right that also made a triangle, and then there was one left over in the middle. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
It's trying to. Oh no, there we go.
And how did you get to seven?
So then I added three, three, and one.
How did you get to seven? Okay. So can you describe that process for me? How did you add three, three, and one?
So I took the number three, and then in
Okay.
my head said, uh, two threes are 6, and I know that just kind of from
Hang
some.
on. 2 3s are 6. Okay, we'll work on the penmanship later. Okay, go ahead.
And then
Keep
I
going.
know that 1 more than 6 is 7, and that was the remainder there. That was just what was left over.
1 more than don't laugh at my heck board. 1 more than 6 is 7. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing. Carrie, how did you see the 7? Or which one would you like to defend?
Wow, 7.
You want to defend 5?
No, I didn't say
Does
5,
anybody
if
want,
you
does anybody
recall.
want to defend 5? If someone wants to change their thinking, maybe if that person. Okay, go ahead. You want to defend 7?
Yeah, except that
Okay, how
I
did you?
saw them very similar to Stefan, but this is where I might need Stefan's help because how I saw them was not as a
Okay.
triangle, but I saw them like the Star Wars, like on the Star Wars where you have like
It's called a TIE fighter, Carrie.
that's
The
what
TIE
I did. I
fighter.
knew you would know what it was, but I was like, you
I'm a
know,
little ashamed that you saw it and I didn't.
it's okay. But that's how I saw
Okay.
them. And then I said 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7.
3 plus 3 plus
Yes, that
1
thing. That's what I saw.
is the TIE fighter. Oh, I see it.
The
Yes, the
the
TIE
TIE
fighter.
Oh
fighter.
my gosh, I
Okay,
can't unsee it.
See?
I know. Awesome.
It was the
Okay.
logical. I don't know what this triangle business is. The logical thing was TIE Fighter, Stefan. What were you thinking?
Look
Okay,
at.
just to
Oh my
defend
gosh, you're a
to defend
genius.
Stefan, his triangles are probably the TIE fighter's wings, maybe. And right?
Yes.
I'm trying to
Yes.
save you here, man, because you are right.
No, I gotcha. She might be a better Star Wars fan. It's November, and that's when or it's almost November, and that's when I start my Lord of the Rings and Hobbit annual rewatch. And so I'm not in Star Wars mode. I'm in Lord of the Rings
Oh,
mode. That's my defense.
my family has been
Oh,
watching the Lord of the Rings series. There's like a series.
Rings of Power on
Yes, yeah,
Amazon. Yeah.
they've been watching that. I have to leave the room, but I know it's
Oh,
on out there.
Carrie. Look, it's there. Literally, that is a TIE fighter. Oh, I've never been so proud to work at this ESD.
okay. All right. So
You'll never be able to unsee it. Next time you see dots like that, you're gonna be like, TIE fighter.
I love it.
TIE fighter. You're like, this is my TIE fighter dots. Okay, so I did hear someone say 5. So does anyone? They also described how they want to thoughts change their thinking. So they saw 5 in the middle and didn't see the 2 outside. So now with after more time, they noticed that though there's just more than the 5 in the middle, there's also the 2. So they went 5 plus 2, and now they like to change their thinking from not 5 but to 7. So, and we all know it's okay to change our thinking. So I'm going to get rid of 5, and this is 7. And then I saw it 8 my first time, right? Sorry, I saw 8, and I went. I'm putting it down here. I thought I saw a diamond and a diamond,
Mm.
and I went 4 plus 4. And what's 4 plus 4, Stefan?
That's 8.
8. So is my math wrong?
No.
No. 4 plus 4 is 8. And the kids, oh yeah, 4 plus 4 is 8. My math's not wrong. But what did I do?
You double counted the cockpit of the TIE fighter.
There's only one cockpit of the TIE fighter. And so it is not 8. It's actually 4 plus 3. And that's 7. So after more time and after I start looking at the dot pattern a little bit more, I see it differently now, and I'm going to change my thinking, and that's okay. So there are 7 dots, and there's 3 of us. We saw different ways. Some people saw my favorite one, which always gets a giggle, and some student this last week saw it as well. It's the smiley face.
Oh, that's good. I like that a
That's not a
lot.
good one. That's a happy one to end on. So
Yeah.
we all had different ways of thinking about it. We saw some similarities, some different groupings, but the most important thing now, we're going to transition over to our next part of our lesson. Okay. All right, kids, take a good job. Thank you for sharing your thinking. High five each other. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Pause. Teacher lens, co-teaching moment. Why did I push you, Stefan, to describe how did you see 7?
I think for a co-teaching moment, so I'm acting as a teacher.
Yeah,
I
other
think
teacher. Why do we push the kids to say, tell me how you got to 7?
I think kids are not inherently good about thinking about metacognition, about thinking about their own thinking. And so like I saw this a lot with my seventh graders when I'd ask them to justify an answer, they'd say, "Oh no, that's just it," or that's the right answer. And even those little tiny pushes around things that can seem basic or rudimentary, like basic arithmetic,
Mhm.
make me stop and be intentional in a way that I'm not typically intentional.
Okay. And Carrie, you and Stefan saw the same number,
Mhm.
but saw it differently and got to and describe. But look at your two. Look at your two different ones, right? How did you get to 7 versus how Stephanie got to 7? What do you know? What do you wonder and notice about those two different ways of how you describe that, I guess?
How we describe them is different,
How
but
did yeah, you
to me, it was the same.
was it the same?
3 plus 3 plus 1 was 7. He did 2 3s was 6 plus 1 was 7. 1 more is 7.
Okay.
The words he used are different. I used like the algorithm kind of, but we still grouped them the same. We still said 3 and another 3 plus the 1.
She also made a connection that I'm ashamed I did not. Like, I mean, but making a connection of patterns to something you've seen in a non-mathematical setting has made me reframe the way that I'm looking at the dots. And so it was valuable
Right.
for me to see Carrie's thinking compared to my own.
Yeah, and
Cool.
I would add on to that, like I've seen students think when they see dots, they think of dice, like number cubes.
Mm.
And they'll see them often, like Andy's 5 and then forgot the 2. Like when they saw the 5, which is how you would see it on a number cube, the 5. So they pick out those like familiar groupings of where they've seen dots before. So I've seen that before.
Okay. Awesome. Great. And so one more little like push and one more thinking about what we just did and the importance of it. We're going to get kids that'll come up or even adults. I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That could be a strategy. And so pushing back, hey, where did you start? Because remember, it was fast. So I started up in the right-hand corner, left-hand corner, whatever. And I went 1, and you write down like I did here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you walk them through 5, 6, 7. And now that strategy is shared with the kids. And they may have like, yep, that's the way I did it too. That's the way I did it. If all the kids are sharing that way, or all the teachers are sharing that way, I just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That kind of gives us a sense of their understanding of numbers, that they still have to have that one-to-one counting. Whereas we get down to what Carrie shared, I went 3 plus 3 plus 1, which is saying I have, I understand that the group of 3 and a group of 3 together, and I have one more, I can combine everything together. That's a little bit better number sense in terms of how she's able to manipulate that abstract with the concrete numbers. And then we had the one that says, ooh, like what you described, Stefan, is you're getting to your grouping. You're saying 2 3s. So that language is getting to that idea of like, okay, you're able to like hold the idea of what 3 is, have 2 groups of it. So you're starting this idea of multiplication almost, right? And I'm saying that 2 groups of 3, which is the language that teachers use all the time, 2 groups of 3 is 6. So you're talking about, you're building up to that idea of multiplication. And then also one step further with the touch counting, you're able to say, I have that 6. I'm going to hold that 6 in my head, and I'm going to add one more. And I know that one more than 6 is 7. So if I go from touch counting to counting on, which is the 6 plus 1 is 7, to the grouping, which both of you did initially, groups of 3 together, groups of 3 together, that shares with me like where your strategy, at least in this example, and how you feel comfortable sharing out loud to the public, how confident you are with your components. So this dot pattern showed us a lot of different levels of number sense strategies of how they can count, as well as where they're feeling comfortable with this idea of, ooh, I kind of multiplied here. I went 2 times 3, but you don't want to share that. The kids maybe not want to share that either, because that's where I'm pushing on they're thinking like that's what I'm learning about now, and so all of that stuff comes up, and you can say, oh, these kids here, if they're all one touch counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we need to give them some more opportunities to build up their fluency and their number sense, and their more comfort of that. And then we could do that through games, we could do that through other activities. Carrie mentioned dice and things. But that level of math that we all got to was just dots, and 7 of them. But our understanding from listening to all the kids thinking, and you're thinking about how you got to 7, can tell me a whole bunch about where they are at, and then say, okay, they're all the same grade, but they all come in with different levels. How do I build up their number sense? And dot patterns are one way for us to kind of keep working on there, because now you are all looking at the same pattern. You are all looking at the same strategy, or different strategies. And now if I'm a touch counter, and that's where I feel comfortable doing, I can see how, oh, those 3 that I touched, that equals a 3. And I'm building more on that abstract, because a digit's crazy. That 3 digit, what does that represent? A lot of kids are still working on that. What does a 4 represent? Like and as adults, we're like, what do you mean? Well, that's tricky for them to say that 4 things together represents this digit, and I got to hold that representation and then apply it somewhere else. Like that's very abstract, especially for learners of math, younger learners, as well as you keep moving forward, right? I'm going to hold this function in my head, and then I'm going to apply it to something, and then what are the outcomes? That's like all this algebraic sense, all the number sense are kind of building up to this idea of like flexibility in the way that I can break things down and think about stuff. So that's what teachers are like, wow, my kid has never told me that before about them as a math learner. And the kids, if they're able to share, they're like, oh, wow, here's a shark sticker. I'm like, thank you. I don't know why I got a shark sticker, but I have it. And now I'm going to add it to my Hello Kitty sticker. And then the teacher can then do these patterns in that 5 or 10 minute chunk of time. And it's not a whole lesson. I wasn't teaching Carrie how to add 3 + 3 + 1. She just shared that with me. We're not teaching kids that, oh, hey, don't you see the groups of 3 up here, the ones that touch counted? No, let them share. And then we're just getting that confidence of sharing. So